Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ade, and in today's video, as promised, I'll be doing a Q&A for reaching 10k subscribers. I'm still very grateful for that. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'll just go straight into the questions. So first question, what do you like to draw the most? If you're following me on Instagram, you probably know the answer to this question by now. I love drawing female portraits. There's just something so beautiful about the female face and the female figure, and yeah, I just love drawing females. What can I say? Female characters are so much fun. There's so much to explore there. And another thing I found that I really love drawing is animals. I love drawing like pets and dogs. I think those are really cute as well. Next question, how long does it take you to finish an artwork? So that is just dependent on like what I'm drawing. So if I'm drawing portrait, that probably take me about 4 to 6 hours. If I'm drawing like a full body character, that'll probably take me about maybe 5 to 8 hours. If I'm drawing landscapes, it's going to probably take me about 12 hours. So it just depends on what I'm drawing. If I'm spending 10 hours on a drawing, most likely the drawing is finished in 7 hours, but I'm just adding unnecessary details that doesn't need to be added. I'm one of those people that takes towards the end of my drawing, I just take unnecessary amount of time drawing tiny simple lines that I'm probably not going to show at the end. The next question is, how did you find your art style? Tips on how to find your style. This is a very good question because I feel like a lot of you need this advice, because these days on Instagram I'm just seeing a lot of like budget Sam does arts. Like people are trying to replicate Sam does art so bad because it's like the most trendy artist right now, but it's not going to help you to find your identity and find your voice by like drawing other people's style. So it's the same for Lowish as well. A lot of people draw like Lowish, and so it's so obvious. But if you're trying to create your own identity, especially on social media, if you're trying to create your own identity for like the art industry, you have to develop a style that is unique to you rather than trying to replicate one artist's style. And there's a simple way to like fix this. Stop looking at one artist's style and attempting to replicate that style. You can do style studies for like multiple artists, but when your art starts to look like just one artist, it's very obvious that you're only getting your inspiration from that one artist and you're trying to replicate your style by copying that artist's style, but it's not going to be productive for you long term. So my advice for you would be watch tutorials from many other artists, learn from them, and when you're drawing, don't look at the artist that you're inspired by to get you, because I feel like some people just if they like the way you draw your eyes, nose, mouth, they copy everything, but it starts to become very, very obvious that they're copying from a specific artist, especially if the artist is very popular. It's going to be very, very obvious. People won't tell you because people can be really nice and kind on the internet, but it's if you look at your artwork and you look at how similar it is to another artist, you probably need to change the way you draw by like learning and seeing how that artists do their work. For me personally, when I was like developing my art style, by the way, my art style is a very evolving style. So the style I had like 2 years ago is probably different from the style I have now, and even a year ago is probably different from the style I have now, because I'm always evolving, always finding new artists to be inspired by and trying to implement some things. Just one thing is what you need. You just need to maybe pick 1 or 2 things that you like about their art style and the way they draw and implement that to yours. But if you're picking everything that you like about their art and putting it in your drawing, automatically your drawing will start to look like theirs. So when I was in the process of building my own art style, I was learning from multiple artists like Angel Garniv, Rush Draws, Janice Song on Instagram, and just picking a few artists that I really like, and they're combining their art style to create and develop mine. And that is how I've been able to achieve my art style, which is very similar to other artists that, I'm probably inspired by, and other artists that I might not even be inspired by. To prevent your art style from being identical to other artists is always a good idea to learn from multiple artists, and also to freely draw. Don't force yourself to draw in a specific way. And another advice I have is, when you're drawing, you need to look back at your drawings. If there's something you don't like about the way you draw things, even if it's just as simple as the lips, if you don't like the way you draw lips, you can maybe look at multiple artists and see, whose art do I like, whose lips do I like, and you can replicate that into your own drawing. So that's a way of like implementing something that you like in other people's arts into yours, but then because the way you draw in other areas is different, it would look different in the end. And yeah, that would be my advice for that. Stop copying. It's really hard though to not copy, especially if you really love someone's art style, and that is why it's best to learn from multiple people. Next question: when did you get into art? Like most people, most artists, you get into it when you're very young, then you realize that you really like drawing, and you probably start doing it like in your free time as a hobby. And yeah, it was the same for me as well. I just loved drawing like independently. Before anyone tells me to draw, I just draw willingly. And I used to like trace the Disney princesses on my backpack and stuff like that. I was not really into like character design like most people draw. I was never in the anime phase because I never watched anime. So I was one of those people that just like was inspired by Disney princesses. But I didn't really draw characters. I was mostly drawing like buildings because I was interested in architecture, and that developed to when I was at university. Then I discovered digital art, and I realized how amazing digital art is. So I picked up digital art, and here I am. And now I love drawing characters. What motivates you to pursue art in a more serious way? Definitely the love and support I get from Instagram. People are so nice and loving and so supportive, and yeah, that really helped me to draw more and to create more art. I would also say that seeing how much I've improved in my opinion in a short period of time was very motivating for me. And the fact that I got in contact with people asking me if I could do commissions for them was also very motivating, because it made me realize that I could probably do this as a career. And just the fact that I get work from it and I get paid work from it is very, very motivating, and it's one of the things that is actually letting me to pursue art as my professional career. Because when I was at uni, I was definitely sure I was going to do interior design, but here I am doing art full time. And the last question: for learning how to paint, is there something that really helped you to develop your skill? The biggest thing, I have said this many times, many artists have said this many times, and people don't listen. People think that we're joking, that we're messing around, that we're lying. Guys, studies, photo studies are the best way to learn, the best way to improve. First of all, I would say that you need to learn from like professional artists that are way better than you are. Learn from tutorials, courses, things like that. And you obviously cannot learn without putting it into practice and putting it into action. So that is when studies come to fusion. So I would say that do a lot of studies and do it correctly. So do color studies, look at the photos, like why is this colored this way, why is this lighting this way, where is the lighting coming from, why is it blue at this side but green at the other side. Just things like that will help you to develop your skill. And yeah, that's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you can also leave down in the comments below your questions, and I'll be more than willing to answer any questions that you have for me. And a big thank you again for 1K subscribers, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
I hit record, it drop, you can't ignore it.